2-2.
Should we wrap this first up, chaps?
We're in a boy band. I'm 37 years old. That's hilarious. We're Boyzone. Us lads from Ireland. And that's all we know we are. One of my pride and joys in life was this kind of Formula One race pedal cart I had at about 4 or 5 years old. But also I took a hammer to it because it was too clean and it was too nice. So at a young age, the stuff I had was beautiful, but yet there was no character to it. And I wanted things to stand out from the crowd. So out on the street, next to everybody else in their pedal carts, mine was a bit more rugged, a bit more used, and a bit more, I was serious about my pedal cart and who's gonna win this race.
Shane's very, what's the word? He's a chameleon. So whatever he's doing, he just adapts to it and he just gets on with it. He'll just literally switch into, boy band, great mode, boy band mode, and just get back into it. He's brilliant like that.
Shannon's dedication to every tour is very impressive. You know, he very much focuses from quite a way out before the tour even begins. You know, he starts prepping himself, getting himself ready, losing any bit of weight he needs to lose, mentally and physically getting himself in shape. And you know, it's a big deal, and people don't realise mentally as much you have to get yourself in shape as you do physically for a tour, and focus. And Shane's very good at that. He's great focus. Of anyone I've ever met in my life, I've never met anyone with focus like Shano has. When he gets his mind, you know, about something and you know, into something, there's no stopping him.
Alright, so I'm here in Shoreditch, in the middle of London, and I'm about to embark on a 5-day journey. Over the next 5 days, I'm going to be shooting a health and fitness stroke lifestyle change. I'm Shane Lynch, and 2013 is Boyzone's 20-year anniversary, and I'm really not as young as I used to be. I've been looking into the body, how I can move forward in its best ability, from nutrition to health and fitness and the science behind it all.
37, take 1. Action. And cut.
Now we need to turn our pancake over, which is always the trickiest bit, and a nice flip. So this is a new project for me, QVC, all on me to come up with this whole new idea of a way forward, an active view, an active lifestyle change and a way forward. Realistically, you want to be doing this every morning to have a better day, and then you're ready for stage 2.
Good chat.
Now, that was good. My first wage packet as a car mechanic was £55 a week, and I remember having great visions of going in and buying a pair of trainers that I've always wanted or dreamt of. And I was on that bus by myself going into town, and I remember seeing a tattoo sign and thinking, wow, maybe I'll get one of them instead. Ding ding on the bell. Got off the bus stop, walked back to the tattoo shop, went in and had a look around. Said to the fella I'd like that one. He said, are you 18? I said, yeah. Sit down in the chair, took my shirt off, and he tattooed me. And I didn't tell anyone for about 2 years. I had a tattoo, again, for myself, my own, whatever that was, initiative of life moving forward. Look at me now, head to toe covered in them. 2 years, not my best pal now. Didn't tell a soul. Thanks very much, boss.
Alright, pleasure.
Alright.
Unpredictable. So unpredictable. You never know. Somebody says, what's Shane gonna have to drink? I'll say, I'll order him a Guinness. Why don't you order me a glass of champagne? Do you know what I mean? So he's just so unpredictable, a law unto himself, eccentric, really eccentric. That one he's confused about. When I say, but you're eccentric. He's like, what do you mean? No, you're eccentric guy.
I think there's a great possibility of one of the reasons why I was scared of anyone entering into my domain, because I know in this early school days for me, I wasn't the same as the rest of the kids. And that's simply to do with reading and writing. And dyslexia, the banner that holds the view.
Sorry, they're a bit pushed for time.
Yeah.
We need to do these bits next.
Being part of one of the most successful bands in the world, that means only one thing. Is it being part of one of the most successful bands in the world?
And action.
Hi, I'm Shane Lynch from Boyzone. And being part of one of the most... Hi, I'm Shane Lynch from Boyzone. And being part of one of the biggest bands in the world is a very grueling schedule. And that only means one thing. You've got to stay healthy. Again?
Cool. I think stay in shape. Stop recording.
Got to stay in shape, thank you. When I stand in front of the camera and you've got these lines to read and recall from, is one of the hardest things for me to do. Obviously I have a massive problem in reading and writing. So earlier on I was given these, I kind of went through them, I had a good look, broke them down in my head, but still I can never get away from that panic of standing in front of the camera, action, and having to say a line that was on a page. I always kind of twist things around and end up saying my own thing anyway, which lucky enough comes out in the end. But I do find it difficult. The brain somehow just goes blank and it sees nothing in front of it, and you just have to start making things up. And that's usually how I deal with things. And I think it went all right. We were under time for pressure in there. They needed their studio back. And that's even worse. When you know you have to get something right, they need the studio back. I can't read what it says. Hey ho, we're good to go. Find out what my favourite products are during my QVC. With Shane Lynch. Join me, Shane Lynch, and QVC, where we'll be raising money for breast care. Breast cancer care. I had my own secret. That's what I had. I had my own secret that I didn't want anyone to find out. So what's the best way to deal with that? Is don't let anyone in. So everyone at arm's length to enter my world. It's a long process. It's a long process, and there's only a few who have managed to do it.
So our proper first date offers me a lift home. So I said, yeah, brilliant. So obviously having that preconceived idea of what a famous pop star is, I thought, right, well, what's he going to be driving? Presses this button on his keyring and you hear blip blip. And when I look, what's flashing is a Ford Transit van. I just started bursting out laughing. He said, what? I said, no, it's cool, nothing.
As a young man, I never had time for women. Really didn't. If you weren't on a motorbike, you didn't see me. That was it. I was pushing bikes in and out of to the point of Mr. Keith Duffy ended up being one of my band members. We live quite local to each other, and we were chalk and cheese. He was shining. The boy was shining. He was dressed in head to toe in denim when I was in back in the day. Streaks in the hair, the whole lot. He was beautiful. He was a beautiful lad, and I was covered in muck and oil and dirt and grease and pushing my motorbike. We've had a few points. We're a little bit hungry at the moment.
I only had one.
He had one and I had half of one.
You'd have the other one. Myself and Shane go back a long, long way. We grew up in the same area of Dublin together, Donamead, just literally around the corner from each other. So I know Shane probably since I'm about 6 or 7 years of age. And we're great mates today. But there was the years that we weren't great mates, kind of in competition with each other growing up, you know.
Yeah, tattoos, Bondi Beach, beer, and burgers. And the two of us used to look at each other with pure hatred because we were always kind of in the running for the same girls, funny enough. I was relatively popular, but I had no time for them. That was the truth. I let them have them. That's what I say to them. I let them have you.
He was just into bikes. It was always bikes or cars. So now, to be fair, he was surrounded with 5 women, so that's a bit unfair. You have to be fairly quiet, I'd say, otherwise we'd put you in place. One of us would.
So Thursday night, in my overalls, covered in oil, and there's an old knock on the door from a fellow who I'd not seen since the day I left school. And he said, cut a long story short, Shane, would you like to be in a band? What nerd are you talking about? Says I to him. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I remember the conversation in the house because he was hanging out with one of the lads actually that was putting the band together with him. And I remember being somewhat surprised because he was in the choir at school but only to get off class. So I don't even know if he ever sang at the choir or just said he was in it and stood at the back like. So to hear he was in a boy band was a bit like, oh, okay. He was always good looking enough. So that wasn't shocking. It was like, oh yeah, he can be one of the good looking ones.
So, sat down with Mr. Louis Walsh in front of him, and we said, right, we are the Irish Take That. Sounds great to me, lads. I put all the auditions together, and he promised us the sun, moon and the stars. He said, you're going to be the biggest thing that ever come out of Ireland. Fair play to the kid, I have to say. Within 2 or 3 weeks, front page of the newspaper, the new Irish Take That. And that almost became real then, because there I am in the paper. There's me dad, me ma, looking at the paper going, geez, the lad's in a band. We're heading to Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
Me and Mike on the plane together.
Didn't manage to get 4 stars.
No, have a look.
We're still happy. We're still happy.
We booked too late, so we didn't get the good seats.
Yeah.
6 in the morning at the moment. It's our baggage reclaim. Get into the cars and go hook up with the rest of the boys. Morning.
Yeah.
We're in Australia, on some kind of a set somewhere, in some studios. Me as per usual, I never know where I am. I'm just in a studio. Stage 5, that'll do. So we just got, we're backstage for the X Factor. Mikey's going to be warming up. That's it.
What ears for everybody else to wear while we're singing.
Alright.
Because,
Just in case you don't like what you're hearing.
so I got my ears. These are my ears. For me.
Okay, so that was rehearsal 1 over, and went pretty alright. Check out this sunshine. It's absolutely glorious. We're about to get locked in the studio. The great life of a band, huh? So we're in studio 301, recording our vocals for the new record, Pass Around the Bottle as I call it, but love will save the day. Cans on.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Just like that, babe.
Relatively early in the morning, it's about 10 o'clock. The sun is shining, it's a beautiful day yet again. And guess where we're going? Not out in the sunshine, but back into a studio. We have a saying called go hard or go home in drifting. When you run the wall, you run the show. When you run the show, all eyes on you. Adrenaline pumping, limiter bouncing. Tell you what, last night we didn't go home. We went hard. So I'm ever so slightly rough this morning.
Are they plugged in?
Are you a drummer, Shay?
I'm a drummer, Shane.
I'm gonna give you a little solo. Here we go. I sat in the audition process. I saw Ronan Keaton come in, I saw Keith Duffy, I saw Mikey Graham, I saw Stephen Gailey. I'm sat behind the desk, just like X Factor, just like any of them shows you see right now. And I was me and Louis and a couple of other judges, and the boys walked in and I'm auditioning the lads. And it was the most bizarre time of my life. Pure black. I hadn't a clue what I'm looking at. Not a clue. I'm a car mechanic.
No, there was never any rivalry. I mean, from a very young age, Kiwi and I were always in either dancing or singing or both, and I knew I wanted to be a singer from very young, but I probably thought it was more of a dream than anything else. So when Shane kind of got in the band, I thought, okay, well, if he can actually make moves, then I can definitely make moves. It's somewhere I could actually go. So it was good to see it in that respect, because it became more of a reality in life to set a goal like that for yourself.
I remember every Christmas being taken to a pantomime that my sisters were in, and usually a big deal within Dublin, because if you're in one of the main shows, it's a big deal without a doubt. But coming out of that, being excited about the next panto and the next thing they're doing. So that's probably the love of panto because I went to so many of them as a kid, and why I do so many of them myself.
Genie, I command you transport me to China. To the town of Peking. Then I, Abanaza, will rule the world.
When I needed somebody, you'll be there.
This place is empty. It kind of reminds me of one of those Westlife concerts.
Oh, bruv, don't be a hater. You take the mick out of Westlife, I'll see you later.
We started to achieve success We started to have #1 records. We started to have fans. We started to do TV shows. We started to be popular. We started to really start to shine. And yeah, I got scared of the shining and being that polished act and being that beautiful thing that is. I all of a sudden had to be different. I had to step back and be that grimy one, whatever that is. And I took on the character of mystery, just doing stuff that was unexpected, saying things that wasn't really necessarily anything to do with the interviews we were doing. And I was an edgy guy. I started to become this edgy guy. And again, maybe that was a survival tactic because I felt I was out of my depth. I just wanted to be an individual. Not necessarily stand out. I didn't want to be the front man and I'm the leader of the pack. I just wanted to be someone different in amongst these guys. It's going to be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, perfect. That's going to look awesome.
Let's stop here, yeah?
Action.
For a lot of the early years of Boyzone, I did not drink whatsoever until about that 98 kind of period where I decided to change my whole mind and find who I was again and please myself as such. And yeah, I started to have a little tipple and go to these after show parties that I never went to. A lot of the lads were great at kind of that socialising and networking and that kind of stuff, but I didn't like talking to people. I had nothing to say to people. So I decided to kind of go to all these shows. I started and really enjoyed them and thought this whole drinking stuff's brilliant. You have great fun here. And that was probably really the beginning of the end of the whole world of Boyzone, because then it was a 9 o'clock in the morning job, opening the can of special brew. Here we go, people.
Alert, yeah, we got a 10 on the Richter scale. We about to do it like it's never been done. Time to put in work, this is show and tell. Cause we hot as hell, and we about to bring fire when we coming. Fire when we show out, fire when it goes down.
You can't have a better birthday whatsoever. We've kind of worked all day long. 12 o'clock we've kind of turned up. We all started shooting. It's nearly 12 o'clock at night too. And we're still filming because I'm talking to you right now. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Boys, I forgot my lines.
You gotta start early.
I was bored, so all I wanted to do was enjoy the day. And I enjoyed it. Funny enough, at the time, I enjoyed it, but the rest of the lads didn't, because whatever the loose cannon they thought I was before, I really became one then. MTV Awards, effing and blinded, all the boys suited and booted on a pair of jeans and a jumper, because I did not care one bit. I had no care for the position I was in.
You're 16, you don't know anything. You haven't learnt about life yet. I think sure you're going to become an absolute nightmare. Of course. Why wouldn't you?
No one had a damn thing to say to me after those outbursts, because they didn't know what to say. They were all just scared. I was on my own tangent, in my own world, doing whatever I wanted to do. And the best thing at that point was to call it a day. I think the worst times with that is probably standing on a stage with 4 really good friends, good pals, like fellas I love and cherish to this very day. And to look out across an audience of 20,000 people who love and cherish you, and to be the loneliest man in the world is freaky as hell. I get why these boys are there, but I'm just a car mechanic. What am I doing here? And how did I get here? And so that 7-year period was just click of the fingers, a flash in the pan. It happened so quickly. Didn't know my own name by the end of it. Didn't know what I liked, didn't know what I disliked. And it was just weird, man. It was weird to be there. It was weird to be me who I didn't even know who I was.
Look, he's Irish, he likes to drink, that don't we all, do you know what I mean? So, but I never saw this monster that they made out that he was. I don't have that experience. I'm not knocking the experience, I'm not saying it didn't happen. It just didn't happen around me. I've only ever known a lovely man.
So I turned to what I knew best, and that was kind of the world I was brought up in, and that's church. You know, as simple as it is. And I looked all around me. Not at the priest whatsoever. I didn't listen to him one bit. I looked at the families that were in there, and I looked at the mother, the father, the children as a unit, as a family, and I thought they have something really special, and I have none of that. I've got everything in the world. I've got it all. The Porsches, the Ferraris, the £1 million houses, the materialistic stuff. I have it, and I'm sad. I'm not happy like they're all smiling. Everyone around me is smiling, and I'm not, and I've got everything. Something has to change.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me.
Name you. Marley May Lynch. Right. That is a powerful name.
The Bible tells me so.
So I decided to kind of take control of that. And in amongst that whole period is where I met my wife, where I met Sheena. The whole void that none of that money could fill, the champagne, the limousines, the parties, the good life, the materialistic stuff was great, but it didn't fill the void like it did going to church, getting the word of God, feeding off joy, feeding off hope, feeding off love. That's probably the best word for it, is love. For the first time in my life, I felt loved. And she definitely brought me through a terrible stage of my life into the man I am today, to be able to move forward as a family man and a father of two and a husband, you know?
And everyone say amen.
Amen. This is the church that we attend every Sunday. It's my father who ran the church, and then when my father died, my brother took it over. So it's family, really. So this is why I have my children blessed here. This is where we come every Sunday.
Yeah, that was good, man. It's always nice to get things out of the way with, short and sweet. Who wants to sit around for hours? Get it over with, get them in, get them blessed, get them home. Let's go bring some beer now. I don't really get any time to do this kind of amount of family around the house. Christmases and all that, unless I'm doing panto. But it's just good, you know. A christening is one of those things that's, it's just an excuse for a piss up in that respect. Everyone comes around just to eat a bit of food and drink a bit of drink, and so where's the star of the show? Where's the baby? Where's Marley May Lynch? She's away off sleeping, of course she is, they're babies. You know what I mean? No one cares where the baby is. They only care where the next bit of chicken is coming from. Sausage? Right, half. Oh, stop! Oh, I'm joking.
Shane enjoys his food very much. I mean, that is a family thing, I think. I think all the Lynches have fantastic appetites and enjoy their food, and Shane certainly enjoys his food. In particular, loves seafood. At Christmas, instead of turkey, we have lobster. So he's a real fan of lobster, and he eats every single part of the lobster.
Just as we start to cook, put a little bit of chicken on the barbecue, it starts to lash down with rain. But it's all good. This morning, first thing when I got up this morning, I parked the old van here, tailgate over the barbecue, kind of preempting the fact that when it starts to rain, not if it starts to rain, when it starts to rain, we'll be covered. And I think we're doing a good job. This is the Mercedes barbecue, okay? This is what it is, Mercedes barbecue. It all works together.
He's a good cook.
I'm a good cook.
And he's second in MasterChef. He's second in the MasterChef. And I love him very much.
Love you, baby. Do you want some steak?
No, thank you.
My food's not that good then, is it?
Much better parent in terms of, like, I am rubbish at like the play and the nonsense of playing, and I last about 2 minutes and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go, I've got stuff to do. Whereas he will sit down and play and play and play and play. I just don't know how he does it. He's brilliant, and he's got much more patience than I have.
Daddy, remember the last one when Wizards was running and I slipped over?
Oh, then I'm going to start that all again because it was all very fast and I didn't understand you. You sounded like me there for a minute.
Okay.
The first few months of Boyzone taking a break was it was scary times, believe it or not. very welcoming times because I needed a break. However, waking up every morning, almost like freaked out, man. Like the whiteys waking up going, hold on a minute, surely there's a plane I need to catch. And it was all just weird. I had nothing to do. It was just bizarre. Like 6 months, nothing to do. What you want? What do you mean? That 7 years, we had day by day by day by day for 7 years, and now you can do what you want. Weird, man. Weird to be let go. I lived out of a suitcase for at least 6 months still. I couldn't put my clothes in a drawer. Didn't know how to do that. I opened my suitcase every day and get clothes on and, did that kind of stuff. And then eventually when all that settled down, I turned to what runs through my veins, and that's motorsport.
In drifting, we have a saying called run the wall. When you run the wall, you run the show. When you run the show, all eyes on you. Adrenaline pumping, limit of bouncing. Go hard or go home. Push the pedal to the metal, take you out of the light. Tonight, we're gonna push it to the limits, alright. Are you in? Can you ride? Or are you passenger? Let's get the camera. About to run the wall, 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 we run the wall, 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 run the wall. Turn the system up a little louder.
I would like to say welcome to my living room. And I say my living room because this is kind of where I spend most of my time. I don't watch a lot of telly because I'm busy in race cars. I'm sitting in the Jap Speed S15. Music is something I was very blessed with in a band, Boyzone. It's something I've inherited. I've inherited a beautiful life with them boys. But without a doubt, motorsport, it runs through my veins, it makes me tick. I was 1 week old on my first racetrack. My dad drove race cars. I was a car mechanic. This is my world. Yeah, game over. Wayne went through. I did not such a good day. However, my baby's sick. Not this baby right here. It's,
Why is she sick?
she's a little bit sick. She's not driving so well, so we'll get her back to the garage and get her going for the next round.
I think it was cool.
Nice. When you come again?
Yes.
Okay, I got one fan at least. The reason why I did all of that is because when I met Sheena, none of there's a lot changed. I was going to say I had a van. I drove, and I still have a van. This is still what I drive. But I was such in a self-absorbed place. But now I met a woman who I loved and absolutely treasured. And it wasn't fair for her for me to be the guy that I was. So I started to make these conscious decisions of going back into TV programs and all that kind of stuff. Great decision, brilliant. Brought me through a lot of stuff yet again. And then I guess at that point, the whole question of, lads, do you want to get back together for the tour with the Boyzone fellas? As much as I wanted it, I kind of didn't want it because I had established myself over that next 7-year period and I was happy. Do you want to come back and do a tour? Do you want to do a record? Do you want to do an album? Then the phone call came, which was something which none of us could have ever thought in a million years. Never forget it. I was over in Ireland, in the pub, everyone's partying, about 11 o'clock at night actually it was. And on my phone came up Ronan Keaton when it was ringing. The boy don't phone you for a chat, not at 11 o'clock at night. So I took the call outside and Ro was on the other end and he says, "Where are you, Shannon?" I said, "I'm Ireland." And he goes, "Listen, I've got something to tell you." And he barely was able to tell me. He said, "Steo's dead." To cut a long story short, he said, "Steo's dead." And I heard him, of course, but I had a moment of, dude, what are you talking about? Me and Steo were probably in amongst the closest within the band. He lived in England, as I did. We hung out quite a lot. And he lived such a magical world of, he's mad about Disney. And he lived in a bubble which didn't understand why people didn't like him or would hurt him, or he was such a beautiful lad he was. So that's why, to me, I'm his big brother, end of story. So I kind of took that role on for the rest of the lads too, to be their big brother, cry on my shoulder, no bother. it doesn't matter. We're still 5 of us up there because his presence is more than there for all of us guys. He's alive. So, we have arrived. This is now Boyzone time, pretty much. So all of the weeks in the lead up to getting back together with the lads is the first thing we're doing. We are in ITV studios and we are about to do a whole Boyzone special. We've got a little bar area over there in the corner, which is standard in an Irish television Boyzone performance, a bar in the corner. Danny Minogue's going to be hosting, asking us a few questions in between the songs we're doing. A small bit of worry, I suppose, just trying to get the show perfect. I don't like things to go wrong. I like it always to be perfect. One slight hand movement wrong or slight foot move out, I'll remember that for the rest of my life. So I like perfection.
20 years ago, 5 young Irish lads got together to form a band. 25 million records later, they're still going strong.
Look, there's one there waiting for me. Really, my Lars work for you.
Hey Mo.
That was pretty amazing. Gosh. Cheers.
I'm going, pal. How are you?
Cheers to the... No, listen, it was amazing. Gosh, it was intense few hours. All the boys did fantastic. Very proud of them all. It's a big deal for us guys, you know, so cheers. I think a lot of the stuff we're doing now for the camera, the journey, talking, showing the insight to the background of my world is great timing, months ahead of Boyzone, because when I get to that point of Boyzone, I'm a different guy. I don't know what it's going to be like for the cameras backstage. I don't know whether I even want to participate in that. I know this is a show we're doing, and I know this is a documentary we're making. However, you're also not dealing with me when you get there. You are, but you aren't. There's two me's, and I don't know what me you're gonna get. Okay. Oh my God. We're here, right? This is called light structures. For the last 4 years, Boyzone come here. We set a big stage up, full production, full crew, full catering. Everybody who's going to be on the tour is here. I'm a little bit nervous, to say the least. They're big times, big moments, a lot of pressure. We don't have a lot of time, to be honest. We are 4 days and counting to the first Dublin show, the O2 show for the 28th. We're to and fro from London. We don't have a lot of time, but come on through and have a look.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the tour. It's shaping up well. A lot of work to do in a very short space of time, but we're getting there. Feels good. Best set list I think we've ever put together. 22 songs. It's a very energetic show. It's a lot of energy, a lot of up-tempo songs, which is very rare for a Boyzone show. But yeah, it's an all singing, all dancing extravaganza.
This is over the light.
I love being a part of stage production side of things, and I think one thing Boyzone have always done, we've always put a lot of effort into making a great show. When time is against you and time's not on your side, you know, it gets a little bit kind of tense. We've got another hurdle that we still have to get over, and that's all well and good in a set of trainers, a tracksuit bottoms and a t-shirt. You kind of feel relaxed. Once you get your gear on, your shoes that are hard to move in, the suits are a little bit tight and all fitted, it gets again a whole new kind of dimension of what a show is to become. Your mind changes. So that said, it's going great.
We don't have a long distance to travel though. From when we get off the chairs, that doesn't matter, does it? When the four of us get together, it's like we're all 16, 17, 18, 19 years of age again. It's like right back to 20 years ago. It's incredible. That bubble has never burst.
Jesus!
That's pretty much a run through from top to bottom of the show. there's a few things to clean up, a few things to change. The next bit is there's no going back. You're on that stage. There's 10,000 people in that audience. There's no making mistakes. You got to get it right. And look, I don't care who you are. As laid back as I am, I still have a lot of butterflies and a lot of nerves at that given point when we first rise up out of the floor of the stage. Oh God, man, it's so hard to even choose words to what that is, where it brings you to. You can't really find it anywhere else.
20 years. 20 years. It's crazy.
It's a mind-blowing kind of 20 years, you're joking. Don't know where they've gone. Don't know where them 20 years have gone. I really don't. It's quite bizarre. Right, we are here. This is the O2, this is Dublin. This is the journey that we've been the last year running all the way up to. This is the 28th of November, the start of the tour, the Boyzone tour. We said we'd take you here. We said we'd take you through it all to get right on to just before we go on that stage. This is the arena behind me, the stage all the way up there. I'm going to take you backstage now and have a little look around. So, Boyzone wardrobe, okay? And not that we get dressed in a hallway, we do have a dressing room, but this is obviously where it all comes in on the back of the trucks. So this is where all the magic goes on when it comes to making the girls look beautiful. They our Sheena over there, the main girl in the house, put all these clothes together. She's done an absolutely beautiful job. The girls look fabulous, and the boys do too. We look absolutely amazing as well. So just when I say, sparkly bras and scantily cladness, sparkly bras and scantily cladness, you know what I mean? That's how we like the girls. I think that's our opening outfit, is it?
Yeah, this is here.
This is our opening outfit.
This is your opening outfit.
Is it? Wonderful. Here. Delicate cargo.
Yeah.
Right? Most important.
She looks after it.
Delicate cargo.
After the show.
Delicate. Fragile.
Boyzone's dressing room. All four of us boys, we always share the same dressing room. So this is Ronan's station right here. There's a nice little bag. Name Ronan, Keith, I'm here, and Mick. And I think it's important for us guys to stay together. If we started separating dressing rooms, there's no vibe there. It's not like you just meet you in the playground kind of thing, you know what I mean, as meeting you on stage. Your house.
You know there's only 200 of these?
Not just that. Huh?
200.
Only
On the canvas.
There's only 200, great. There we are now. We're going to do a meet and greet, which is always a nice touch for us boys to be able to get to meet some of the fans, some of the people, or the supporters who come to the shows, not just from the audience perspective. Sometimes it's competition winners, sometimes it's charity auctions, etc. And then sometimes it's just dedicated people who would like to come and see us, who work hard to get to do so.
Oh my god, you're just unreal! Can I get a selfie? Can we see each other?
See a little notepad.
Nice to see you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You want to sign anything?
You haven't signed the code, will you? For 20 years. Some cry, some don't. It's wonderful.
You have followed me on Twitter.
What?
Cut it up. Come on.
Group
Come on. Yeah. Thank you. Best time ever.
Fresh tattoos on the neck. You know when you get a tattoo, right? On the, it doesn't matter where you get it. Someone always come up and hit you on it. Hit on the arm and go, alright bud. Yeah. You know, you're in there in the meet and greet, which is always lovely, don't get me wrong. And always the first thing, around the neck, the big hug. Oh, crippling. Absolutely crippling. I'm excited now. I'm delighted now. I'm usually the last one on stage, which I cruise down the corridor and eventually land when the time needs to be. The reason for that is, if you spend too much time backstage, you're a little bit anxious and you get worked up because you have nothing to do. So you're kind of hanging around there like, what time are we on? What time are we on? I'm never really like that. I like it more relaxed. That song there now, Avicii I think it is, that's our last song. And away up in the lift we'll go. God bless you, thank you for watching. I hope your journey has been emotional as my journey has been. I've got to go do a gig now. God bless you all.
Coming out of BT, house lights going, chaps.